Republicans in Maine's legislature are calling for further investigation into alleged fraud in Maine's government, specifically with MaineCare. And their push comes after the Maine Department of Health and Human Services announced it found a Portland company had been improperly paid more than $1 million in MaineCare payments. News Center Maine's Christian Harsa reports.
Republican state representatives and senators are saying enough is enough and are publicly calling for Maine Democrats to do more to investigate fraud in the Medicaid system.
Where is Governor Mills? Where is Speaker Fecteau? Where is President Daughtry?
Senator Matt Harrington of York and others say that the $1 million of MaineCare payments that a Department of Health and Human Services audit found to be wrongly distributed are, in their words, just the tip of the iceberg.
I believe what we have uncovered so far is only scratching the surface of fraud here in Maine.
DAHS notified Gateway Community Services LLC last week that the company's MaineCare payments are on pause due to an investigation into a credible allegation of fraud. Harrington says he feels the state cannot handle these matters, calling on the federal government to step in.
Congressman James Comer has launched a federal investigation and has requested bank records connected to Gateway and related entities.
Part of the reason the Republicans say are connections to the legislature to Gateway Community Services LLC.
We do not believe that Representative DeLocke should be serving on the Appropriations Committee.
However, Representative Decca DeLocke of South Portland did not work for Gateway Community Services LLC, but rather is a former employee of Gateway Community Services Maine, a nonprofit. Gateway Community Services LLC's lawyer confirmed DeLocke's employment, writing in part, "Today's press conference provides vivid proof that the conclusory allegations referenced against Gateway are being used as a wedge issue in a high-stakes election year. Gateway stands by its response to these allegations and will continue to cooperate with oversight agencies as it has done." Maine Republicans also made parallels between Gateway and investigations into several businesses in Minnesota accused of fraudulently using federal subsidies. In both states, those accused are from or have ties to Somalia.
Has nothing to do with certain populations unless and until it does. We should be looking at whether there's a strong corollary here in the state of Maine as well.
Maine Democrat Senate President Matty Daughtry and House Speaker Ryan Fecteau are pushing back against the claims made by their Republican counterparts, saying, "These matters are appropriately before the relevant authorities, and the legislature will be closely monitoring the outcome of those investigations. The legislature will take any findings seriously and consider what steps may be needed to strengthen accountability." Republicans also spoke to the limited funding that DAHS has to investigate fraud. However, Daughtry's office pushed back against that, saying that there was a committee amendment and a floor amendment that would have boosted fraud investigation funding. However, Republicans voted against that. In Augusta, Christian Harsa, News Center, Maine.